Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Good evening, and I hope you're all having a good day. And with me I've got DeejBruce. Say hi, Deej.
I'm Dog, formerly known as Deej. I'm terrible at introductions.
So I'm not that much better, to be honest, but you'll get there. You'll gradually you'll go from bad to slightly bad, and then you'll get mediocre, which is kind of where I am right now. So, but yeah,
Mic sounding okay?
yeah, I turned it up just a slight smidge. It sounds fine.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, we don't normally do this kind of thing, but I figure it'd be kind of fun, maybe a stepping stone towards a potential podcast, which is something we've talked about.
Yeah.
So I figure it would be fun to talk about the Detective Pikachu movie. Of course, you don't really need me to tell you that it's probably gonna have spoilers in it. So if you don't want to listen to that, then I'll just put this graphic up to say spoiler warning. You can mute this part if you want, and then once I move on to the next game, you'll know when we're done talking about it. So
yeah.
But yeah, we'll start by talking about the overall presentation. I thought it looked really good, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it looked a bit like I thought from the trailers that some of the Pokemon looked a bit like off,
Yeah,
but in the film itself, it seemed fine.
yeah,
Like I know they were going for like semi-realistic, which I'm fine with.
yeah. That's fine as long as the proportions and stuff are there, and they kind of like stick to keep it faithful to the source material. Kind of keep the proportions and the characteristics kind of intact, and it's fine.
Yeah, because like Pikachu itself like looks fine, but when you compare it to like the Sonic trailer,
Yeah,
it's just like completely different, and it kind of this film actually kind of makes me worried for a Sonic film because I'm like I enjoyed this film, but I know I shouldn't like judge a book by its cover. You know, like I shouldn't judge the film based on its trailer, but
yeah.
I'm
I
getting
mean,
off. I'm getting off topic.
when the Pikachu movie first was shown, I think it was quite divisive because people weren't sure what to think about the realistic approach. I almost did a video on it actually, like I wrote a script for it. And then the more I thought about it, the more I watched it, I was like, you know what, this actually looks good. So I decided against making a video about it. And then the Sonic movie came along and I was like, oh god. I
uh,
did not know what Terra was until I saw Sonic with human teeth.
yeah, like Ryan Reynolds was good as Detective Pikachu.
Yeah, he's great. Like I don't know, like I haven't seen much of his stuff outside of Deadpool 1 and 2, but I do like his performance as Detective Pikachu.
Yeah,
There was a couple of little kind of fourth wall breaky moments he had, which kind of reminds me of Deadpool, of course.
uh, um,
There was that one moment where a car pulls up and he's like, "Oh, that's a bad guy car." So yeah, a little bit of self-awareness there, just ever so slightly. It's not like bombarding you with fourth wall jokes, but it's there just a tiny bit.
yeah. I mean, even though like Pokemon is primarily aimed at children, it did have some like jokes aimed at like older people, but I still heard children laughing at it anyway, which
Yeah.
I found a bit like odd.
See, I wonder if the children heard their adults, like parents, laughing, and then they just like laughed along, just assuming, oh, okay, apparently that's a joke.
Yeah,
That's probably why.
because like one point the main character was like talking about nipples or
Yeah.
or something, and I'm just like,
Something about nipple talk. I remember that. Like male nipples, not female nipples. Don't worry. It's not like fucking R-rated, despite the fact
although
it's got Ryan Reynolds in it.
although if Ryan Reynolds had his way, it would have been R-rated,
Yeah, I
and
heard about that actually.
I'm not sure how to feel about that.
I mean, they could do you know that Deadpool re-release where it's like a T-rated Deadpool 2.
So like the opposite.
Do the opposite. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, just make an R-rated Detective Pikachu that's got like all the really raunchy jokes in it that you don't normally see.
I'm not sure how I feel about that, to be honest.
Yeah, so I don't think Nintendo would allow that, obviously, but it's kind of funny to think about.
As for the story,
The story, yeah,
it was kind of okay. I mean, it was a bit predictable at times.
yeah. I wasn't like the story didn't really bother me that much because it was kind of what I expected, but I did like the story beats. I liked the way it was going, like how it presented itself, I guess. But I kind of liked the final act.
Yeah.
The final act was really good, but I guess we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah. I'll be honest, like, I keep forgetting the main character's name. Like, I know his last name's Goodman, but
I think it's Tim.
yeah.
Yeah, because I can kind of remember Detective Pikachu shouting Tim at one point, so that's just what made me remember that.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I've just got like a terrible memory or he's just like a forgettable character.
He's alright. I mean, it fits the role, I guess, but yeah, he's just meant to be.
Like, I don't think he's a terrible actor or anything. It was just maybe it was a script. I'm not really sure.
It might have been the direction, possibly. I'm not really an expert on like movies and actors and stuff, so I couldn't say myself.
Yeah, but like I said, Ryan Reynolds was good.
Yeah, he was pretty good. You know, I always wanted like Danny DeVito to voice Detective Pikachu, but I think Ryan Reynolds did a really good job himself filling those proverbial shoes, I guess. Even though the shoes weren't there to begin with because he doesn't wear any.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I thought it as a whole package, it's a pretty damn good movie, and I guess we can talk about the story parts now, just the basic story, I guess.
I mean, it's a better Nintendo film from Mario Brothers. So
it's probably the best Nintendo movie if you don't count like the actual animated Pokemon movies.
Yeah,
like in terms of like a proper high, like big budget theatrical release that's like got acting and stuff in it. I guess it's easily the best thing Nintendo's made.
Yeah, I mean, it was Warner Brothers, but like Nintendo did have a hand in it, opposed to like Sega just handing off Sonic. Which
yeah, that's true.
And it goes to show you, like Nintendo does care about its IPs, which is kind of
the thing about
standard.
Like, yeah, the thing about like making movies of like IPs you've got, there's a bit of a tightrope act where it's kind of like, do you want to be too hands-on or do you want to give them some creative control, like take it a little bit step back, just let them do their thing?
Yeah.
Also, welcome to the stream, MSP. Is the restream chat working for you, Deej?
I'm not. Yeah.
Right, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, give him the link so he can get to see the chat. I mean, the chat's a bit quiet, but I understand that because we're just talking about the movie first.
Yeah.
Again, if you don't want spoilers, just mute this part, and when I change to the game, you can unmute.
I mean, there was even, I'm not sure if you noticed it, but there was like little bits in the movie where the Pokemon and walking were just like, I can't remember the name of the city.
Rhyme City?
Yeah, Rhyme City. They were just like walking around.
Yeah.
And there was a Machamp like directing traffic around a Snorlax that had fell asleep.
Oh yeah. I think that was in one of the trailers, but I remember that part in particular.
And then you've just got like Jigglypuff singing in the bar.
Yeah, and there's just like a guy sitting at the table just asleep. I'm pretty sure during that part they ripped the audio straight from the anime because it sounds like the original voice actor for the English dub.
Yeah.
Either that or they just like re-recorded it, but it sounds identical to me.
But yeah, like none of the Pokemon looked like super off.
I mean, Mr. Mime was about as close to being Uncanny Valley, but that might have been the point.
Yeah, I mean, his scene was pretty good.
His scene, yeah, obviously the trailer shows a bit of it, but there was obviously quite a bit more to that scene where they like interrogate him. It's quite funny.
Yeah. Well, not dark. but it's just. Well, I mean, I suppose.
I mean,
it's a
Detective
spoiler.
Pikachu does kind of say that it gets dark in the middle of it because of what happens. I mean, we can talk about this part. So
Yeah, because there's a spoiler warning up, I suppose, and it's not like it's Endgame where.
yeah, we're not talking about Endgame.
I mean, it's not like. I mean, when I say that, it's not like Endgame where like everyone's like no spoilers. I mean, I don't think people are. I mean, I don't think people are going to be that bothered about Detective Pikachu
Yeah,
in that
Endgame's
sense.
kind of different. Like that's a much bigger movie, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, there's a spoiler warning, but like it gets kind of dark because basically
Yeah,
climbs
Tim Goodman.
into Tim climbs into a box
Yeah, the box that Mime made.
via miming, and then he mimes pouring gasoline.
Yeah,
Like he doesn't actually. I mean, it's not actual gasoline.
yeah, he's basically playing along, and he's like trying to mime pouring gasoline all over Mime, and
Yeah,
Mime's like playing along with it, like he's getting doused in the stuff.
yeah, and then he gets out of the box and tries to set him on fire.
Yeah, because he like goes back out of the box, like leaving a trail of imaginary gasoline, and then pulls out an imaginary match.
And I'm like, well, he's dead.
Yeah, they get the information from him before they like drop the imaginary, not torch. What do you call it? A matchstick. And then
matchstick.
after they get the information, Tim just drops it anyway, and it cuts away, and it's just like, oh shit, he's dead.
He's meant to be a detective, and he's out there like killing Pokemon.
I guess Tim Goodman was the bad cop after all. Then
I'm trying to think of like other moments in the film.
well, after that part, they go to like the underground battling scene, like that club where they're like having underground battles.
Yeah, that was a bit like weird because there was some like I haven't played Pokemon in like forever, so like there was some Pokemon I hadn't seen before. You know, the ones that were basically shaped like speakers.
Yeah, those guys. I think they're called Loudred.
Yeah, but it was just kind of weird because it was not dubstep, but it was kind of.
I think it starts turning into dubstep toward the end of that scene, but yeah, it's just like beatboxing.
Yeah, and
because
then
like background music for the whole battling thing.
Yeah. And then there was this fight between Detective Pikachu and Charizard.
Yeah, that's right.
Which was alright, I suppose. Like, I'm not sure how I expected it to go.
Yeah, it was okay, but there was that one joke in there where he's trying to like use Thunderbolt.
Yeah. It was
and
like
he's basically hunched over as if he's trying to take a shit, and he's like, "Oh, I can't do this when people are looking."
Yeah, that scene just made me feel. And I'm just like,
yeah, that's it. Kind of feels like one of those like Hollywood upper management kind of things where it's like, "Oh, we need to have like a toilet joke in here."
Yeah, it's basically it was just off.
Like, the funny thing is, like, all the music stops for a moment just so that everyone can just look at him just hunched over it, trying to make a squeezing noise because he's, like, trying to get the Thunderbolt out.
Yeah, and just, like, the whole cinema is just, like, quiet.
Except for, like, maybe 2 or 3 kids that were laughing, I guess. But yeah, other than that, it was an alright set piece, just, like, the whole fighting thing.
Yeah.
I guess we should mention the plot MacGuffin, what was it called? The R gas or something?
Yeah, the R gas, which
basically little capsules of purple gas stuff that like turns Pokemon into like insane, like batshit insane monsters.
Yeah.
So yeah, they used that on the Charizard during that scene, which is why he was being so aggressive with Pikachu.
And then
and then there was that dodgy guy that had the Charizard, and he had like more gas canisters inside his pocket. And they go off, and then every Pokemon except for Detective Pikachu within that arena just like goes crazy. And then that's when the Loudred starts sounding like dubstep.
Yeah. And then Tim just like runs runs outside and somehow loses his part.
Oh
No,
yeah,
no, wait.
no, that was the part with the APOM early on in the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, we've got to mention that, but it's nothing. It was just like a bunch of APOM going batshit insane because of the gas.
yeah, because he found the gas in his aunt's apartment and just decided to open it.
Yeah.
Like, if you find a vial or something, and you've seen enough zombie films, you're like, maybe not open it.
Yeah.
But no, he's just like, well, I don't know what this is. Well, I'll just open it anyway.
But yeah, I was gonna say that part where they're like fighting the Charizard in that underground battling thing. There was a little Pokemon anime reference in there with the what was it called, Magikarp, the little fish.
Yeah.
Where Pikachu is like, oh, if you kick it, he'll evolve into Gyarados.
Yeah. No.
Sorry, what did you say?
I'm saying I remember, but it's been so long since I've watched it, I can tell you.
Yeah. I think your voice is breaking up a little bit on Discord. Do you want to try reconnecting?
Test. Is it working now?
Seems to be working now. Okay.
I think it might just been my cable. Anyway, the plot. Well, Detective Pikachu has got amnesia because, of course, he does.
Plot reasons, yeah.
And basically, they think Tim's dad is dead.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, okay.
You can kind of put two and two together, really, if you
yeah,
because these kind of tropes, I guess.
Yeah, because I mean, like throughout the film, he was like, oh, he's dead. Maybe he's not dead. He's definitely dead. Is he dead?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, it was kind of predictable in the sense that.
I mean, I kind of had a feeling that, like, I never finished the video game, but they foreshadowed it very heavily that Detective Pikachu is basically his dad.
Yeah, and
yeah, I just had that feeling going in.
So, like throughout the film, it's like I said earlier, the story is kind of like predictable in a bit. Like the overall film is fine, but the plot's kind of hit and miss.
Yeah, really. Again, it's kind of aiming toward a younger audience still, even though it's got parental guidance on it when we were watching, so...
Yeah.
I'm not too bothered about the story as long as it was a fun ride to watch, I guess, which it was.
Yeah, so Pikachu was his dad's Pokemon.
Yeah.
And basically they go and try and find his... or whatever, even though they said he's dead.
Oh yeah, wasn't there like a female reporter during that story where we had to like follow her scoop or something to find the next leader or whatever that was?
I
forgot her name, to be honest.
I've also forgotten her name.
But yeah, she had like a Psyduck with her.
Yeah, she was an intern at the news station.
Yeah, CMN, I think it was called.
Yeah, for some reason I kept thinking it said CNN.
Yeah, same.
I was like, but that's a real news channel.
It's just legally distinctly different enough that they can get away with changing one letter, even if it sounds like N.
I'm trying to think what CNN would stand for. I mean, it probably told me, but...
Yeah, I don't remember what they said, if they even mentioned it.
But yeah, like, he meets up with her. I mean, I'm not going to explain the whole film.
Yeah, we're not going to go through everything. We're just going to go over like the broad strokes, I guess.
But then they eventually find the research center.
Yeah, the research facility where Mewtwo was being experimented on.
Yeah. And then there's the whole... Yeah, no, you go first.
Yeah, the way like the movie actually opens up by showing Mewtwo at the research center, and it kind of reminded me of the first Pokemon movie where the scientists are like experimenting on him.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a cool little reference to that, I guess.
Yeah, and then blah 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 things happen, and they think that Pikachu turned on his dad. I mean, I,
Yeah,
not not turned on. I mean,
yeah, I know what you mean.
basically,
Like, he basically betrayed him, but he didn't.
yeah,
But they thought he did because
yeah.
of the
So he
limited
just,
information they had at the time.
yeah, so he just like walks off.
Yeah, they go for that trope where it's like, oh no, the two main protagonists are falling out with each other, but they'll come back like 5 minutes later.
The thing is, though, like Pikachu himself said that earlier on in the film, and I just found that.
Apparently, there's an echo of me on your microphone.
Is there?
Yeah, that's what Mister's saying.
No, that's weird because I'm using my headset. I'll try.
Okay.
I'll move my microphone, but
Yeah,
I mean, usually if I'm not talking, I'll mute my microphone.
right. Okay then. But, so yeah, the whole thing where they fall out, and then I guess the third act begins. I mean, we didn't talk much about the second act, but there was one cool part where they were escaping from the research facility once they got the information they needed. And there was that one part where the Earth is like turning up at a right angle. It's kind of like Inception.
Yeah, it basically turns into Inception, and it turns out to be
One of those Pokemon of which name I don't remember. It's that big turtle Pokemon with like a tree on its back. Basically, they experimented with those guys and made like gigantic ones that cover the entire field around the experiment lab. But yeah, when they wake up, it just kind of looks like the Earth is just bending at a right angle, which is kind of a cool effect. Even though it's not exactly new, but it's kind of cool to see that in this movie.
Yeah, and then Pikachu's like, "Oh, it's an illusion."
Yeah. Oh yeah, there was that one moment where Pikachu pulls a Goofy from Kingdom Hearts 2 and gets a fucking rock smacked in his fucking head. Except he doesn't wake up like 2 minutes later, he actually is like out for several minutes, like much longer than that.
Yeah.
And then Mewtwo comes along to heal him for a moment before he gets captured. There's like a whole side thing with the plot where Mewtwo is captured by these guys that are trying to like experiment on him, which is why he helps before he gets captured again.
Yeah, because like there's the father and there's the son.
Yeah, these two guys that built Rhyme City, and the whole principle of Rhyme City is basically a utopia where Pokemon do not fight each other.
Except the underground.
Yeah, hence the underground, really, because that's where people are like basically going against the law.
I mean, that's to be expected, to be honest.
Yeah. So he gets recaptured, and then they find out that the father, who is like in a wheelchair, is like can barely move or anything. Turns out he was the villain who was experimenting to get like Mewtwo, so that he could like basically put his mind in Mewtwo's body, which is kind of funny. Like that's the start of the third act.
Oh yeah, because like earlier on the film, he was like, "No, it's my son. My son's doing all the bad things." And I'm like,
yeah. So turns out the son wasn't actually doing bad things. It was just a Ditto that we saw much earlier in the movie pretending to be his son, and the real son like was just locked in the closet. I forgot the name of those two guys actually, the father and the son. But yeah.
we've both got terrible memories, haven't we?
Yeah.
Like we literally just saw the film like an hour or two ago,
2 hours ago, yeah.
And can't remember the name of the characters.
But yeah, the whole thing where he's basically got this philosophy that humans can evolve and better themselves. And his eventual conclusion to that research was, oh, we can just basically merge into the Pokemon and become the Pokemon.
Yeah, because he was using this like mind
Yeah,
machine.
he's got like a
I can't.
mind transferring thing that is on his head.
Yeah, like here's the thing: he did it because he had cancer,
Yeah,
but like his body is still there. It doesn't remove his cancer. It just means
yeah, I don't
like
understand that actually. It's just like it's a
it was kind
temporary
of
solution, but the underlying issue is still there. Like his body's going to give in eventually.
yeah. So anything like I think like I know I shouldn't like point out like plot holes, but I think that was one of them for me because I'm like, but you still need your head is still in your body,
Yeah. Although
but
as Mewtwo, with the mind of Mewtwo, you had the power to turn everyone else. Basically merge all the humans with their partner Pokemon.
yeah, that was kind of funny to be honest.
Yeah, it was kind of funny, like after during the aftermath when you just see a panning shot of the streets and it's just nothing but Pokemon, like there's no human around except for Tim.
Uh, um, and then there's like the whole fight between Tim and Ditto.
Yeah, because the Ditto was that fake son that was like trying to stop them from stopping the mind machine from connecting to Mewtwo.
Yeah, but you like he's there was a reason he was wearing like glasses all the time
Yeah, he was wearing
because
shades for the entire movie.
because Ditto's got some like weird eyes when they
Yeah,
is it
he's got like
mimic.
little beady eyes when he changes into different things. It's kind of, if you've seen that anime episode of Pokemon where Ditto has a weird face when he turns into stuff, it's basically referencing that.
And
So yeah, they fight and um I was gonna say there is kind of a plot hole with Ditto where he can turn it into Pokemon at will, even though there's no Pokemon that you can like copy nearby. I don't understand that exactly.
I think he was so that would kind of explain it. I
Sorry,
think
what would explain that?
he was uh he was being tested on
Oh, I guess
in
that might be why. Yeah.
because I mean really it's a really like bad excuse. It's like, oh, he can do this thing because of the gas, and I'm like,
It could be that, yeah, they don't really explain it or like give any clues as to why he can like change at will without the subject next to him, because that's usually how it works. But again, it's a kids' movie, so I'm looking too much into that.
what's kind of hit and miss at times, but like overall, I enjoyed it. Like I would still recommend going and watching it.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. It'll probably be more fun than the Sonic movie that comes out later this year, which I think we will also watch.
Oh, definitely. But like, seeing this movie just made me worry about seeing the Sonic movie.
I
But
mean,
at least I'll have. I know I shouldn't really compare the two, but
yeah,
at least I'll have something compared to something to compare it to.
I mean, they're two video game movies with live action and like CG animation, so it's both an unfair comparison and a fair comparison at the same time.
Yeah, it's just like Nintendo were pretty hands on with the Detective Pikachu movie, whereas Sega's not really involved
Again, it's
with.
kind of a tightrope thing where it's like, do you want to be full hands on or do you want to give them some breathing room? Or if you're not giving enough hands on advice, then it's just going to be potentially bad.
Yeah,
But yeah, hopefully the Sonic movie will be decent to watch and hopefully they can fix that Sonic model up.
I've still got a feeling that they've already fixed it, but they decided to show the bad one first for some reason. I mean, that's probably not what they've done, but like in the back of my head, I'm like,
Nah,
I'm not sure how. I'm not sure how you're going to fix a film between now and November.
yeah, I don't know. don't know if they would like plan that far ahead to be like, okay, let's show them the bad version and have like the better version later to give them the impression that we've improved it.
You think we'll get a Sonic the movie, the game?
That would be interesting. They did say they're working on a Sonic game, so maybe.
I'd just be like, well, it can't be any worse than like, I mean, it can't be any worse than like 06.
Yeah,
Like
I guess not.
I don't think 06, like, I mean, it's not a good Sonic game, but I think if you removed like the bugs and all that, it would be okay. I'm getting really off topic. We went from talking about Detective Pikachu to talking about Sonic.
Yeah, again, both movies are coming out this year and they've got kind of similarities to each other, so I guess that's inevitable to kind of talk about that.
Yeah.
Is your microphone working? You're cutting out a bit. Hang on.
Hold on.
Don't know if Discord is being nice to me. Testing, can you repeat what you just said?
Can you repeat what you just said?
Yeah. What did you say before, like when I said it was cutting off?
I honestly can't remember.
Uh,
There's not much else for me to say on the film, really.
I mean, overall it was good. The story wasn't amazing, but I wasn't expecting it to be, as long as it was fun to watch, and which it was.
Yeah. I mean, there was detective work, and there was a Pikachu.
Yeah. One other thing that I forgot to mention was, it's not anything important, but it's like whenever they show like the city landscape or just like an establishing shot of like part of the city, I kept looking around the big theater screen trying to find little references and little Easter eggs they would like put on the signs and stuff, because there's a lot of them.
Same, but I didn't think I really saw much.
Yeah, I didn't see too much. I saw like a couple places named after Pokemon, and maybe like I saw like one building that had like two symbols on them. They might have been like Pokemon badge symbols, but I don't know. But
Yeah, the start of the film was a bit weird because there was just this crying Manchop. No, I've forgotten the name of the Pokemon.
The Cubone. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, there was just like this crying like Cubone.
Yeah, again, that's kind of a Pokemon reference, I guess, because there is a crying Cubone in the anime, I believe.
Yeah, I remember that.
If not the anime, then one of the games, something like that. Like, canonically, it's wearing the skull of its dead mother, so I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, they did actually.
They did actually physically point that out. Like, Tim pointed that out to the Cubone when he was approaching it.
Yeah, they referenced it.
Yeah.
It's just kind of weird how because in the games you usually like fight a Pokemon to catch it, but in the film and I suppose cartoon, they just throw the Pokeball at it.
Yeah, kind of like Pokemon Go, just walk up to it and toss the ball.
If anything, this film just made me want to play Pokemon.
Yeah, well, there is a new one coming out later in the year, which I'll be getting, Pokemon Shield, or Sword, sorry.
Yeah, I'm getting Sword, and I'm like, I want it now.
Yeah, I don't know when it's coming out, but probably like November-ish.
Just in time for my birthday.
So, any final thoughts on the movie? Anything you want to remember, or assuming you can remember anything after that?
My memory's not that bad. Like, overall, I'd recommend watching it. It has its moments. The plot's not the best, but it's a film about Pokemon, so I wasn't really expecting it to be. And even though it's a children's film, it does have like some older jokes in it for like adults in the crowd.
Yeah, some risky jokes in there.
Yeah.
Overall, it was pretty good for what it was. Obviously not amazing, but it's a pretty good package, I would say, and probably the best video game movie that's ever been made, unless there's like one I've not seen. I mean, that Final Fantasy CG movie from like 15 years ago, is that any good? Spirits Within or something?
No, that's pretty terrible.
Nah, okay then. Well, hopefully the Sonic movie is good, and I guess by extension, hopefully the CG Mario movie by Illumination is also good.
Final Fantasy VII Advent Children is pretty good.
Oh, is that I thought that was a game.
I think it's no, there was a game based on the film. I think for the PSP.
Oh, I see. Right. So yeah, quite enjoyed it. If you like Pokemon, if you like Detective Pikachu, I didn't finish the game, but I played a little bit of it. I would recommend seeing, I guess. And I guess you would recommend it as well, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I haven't seen much films this year.
Yeah, I'm not much of a moviegoer myself, but we went and watched 2 movies within the space of a week. Roughly a week. So we went to see Endgame last week, and now we're watching Detective Pikachu, and I think the next movie I'll be watching is Toy Story 4, which is like maybe a couple months from now.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe I'll talk about that. I don't know if it's going to be interesting enough for me to like... We've been talking for like almost 40 minutes actually. We've been spending a little bit of time talking about this.
Yeah, I think the film was like 109 minutes or something, so we've talked like about half of that.
Yeah, I didn't honestly expect to talk that long. I thought it was going to be more like 20 minutes rather than nearly 40 minutes, but overall it was quite good, and I guess that kind of reflects in that we're talking of it, I guess.